Hey, what's going on, guys? Dave Mate back here in Argentina in the beautiful city where mate flows freely. I'm in the Barrio Palermo right now. It's been 4 years since I've been back here in Argentina. Really happy to be back. Today we're starting from the beginning. I'm just going to show you how to create a gourd of yerba mate, how to brew some yerba mate, how to get the gourd, how to get the bombilla, how to get the water, and how to put it all together to enjoy this delicious drink. We're going to be using our Serrano bombilla, new bombilla, on our website right now. Quantum cup gourd, just a basic cedar wooden gourd. And one of my favorite brands out here, La Tranquera. Really nice, strong, full, robust yerba mate. So here we go, guys. It's been a couple years. Back in town, let's get going. Salud. Alright, guys, the first thing you need to do is grab yourself some water, fill up a kettle. Very simple. Now, just use the best water that you can. If tap water is the best water you have right now, then use tap water. Some people like to use bottled water, alkaline water, all sorts of fancy waters. Don't get me wrong, I actually prefer those waters, to be honest. But hey, why not? Some tap water is okay, it's not going to kill me. So, let's put a little bit more in actually. Now, when you're making the mate water, you want to make sure not to actually boil the water. The water should just be very hot. I prefer kettles that actually have a top that you could take off, so you could look into and see when the little tiny baby bubbles start popping up. Once the little baby bubbles, about the size of sand grains, maybe a little bit larger, start popping up, then the water's ready. With this sort of kettle, you just have to be very vigilant and listen for the little baby bubbles. That comes with time, comes with experience. But don't worry, if you actually boil the water, just make sure you let the water cool down for about 10 minutes before you actually start drinking it. It's not safe to drink freshly boiled water. You just want very hot water. I like to bring the water up to about 175 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Here in Argentina, they like it around that temperature. Some people like a little bit cooler, around 150 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So anywhere from in that range, you're going to be okay. Alright, folks, so now grab yourself your handy thermos. Obviously, the thermos is designed to keep the mate water at the correct temperature of approximately 82 degrees Celsius, around 175, 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Take the mate water and add it to the thermos. Woohoo! Sí, se puede. Vamos a tomar unos mates ricos. We are going to drink some delicious yerba mates. My Spanish is getting rusty. I haven't spoken it that much in about 4 years, but now I'm back in Argentina, so I have to practice. Cover your thermos. Now, this is called the mate water. The mate water is the water that's at the proper temperature, the proper heat. That is called mate water. Now we need something called dummy water. This right here is dummy water. It's just water that's at room temperature or cold. Alright, guys, now this is when the fun begins. So we have ourselves our gourd, we have some mate, La Tranquera, but I don't think it's enough, so we're going to probably mix it with Mission, my favorite yerba mate in the world. We have our bombilla. We're going to be using the Serrano bombilla, alpaca bombilla, beautiful work of art right here. We have our dummy water, and I'll let you know in a second what the dummy water is for. Remember, this is just room temperature water or cold water. I prefer room temperature. And we have our mate water, which is just properly heated water. Water that's at the right temperature in your thermos. All right. So guys, just take your time with this. It takes experience, it takes time, it takes patience, it takes love. I really believe this is a work of art. Yerba mate, the preparation, everything about yerba mate. This is a gourmet herb on the same level, if not even deeper, than wine or different spirits, traditional green tea. Yerba mate is right up there with all those fine things. It has so many different tastes, so many different textures based upon where it's grown, regions, altitude, soil, how it's stored, how it's dried, how it's everything. So it's a really, really fine drink. It works on the mind, works on the body. And God bless my soul, because I actually thought this was Mission loose leaf yerba mate, but it's not. It's actually Mission mate bags. Haha. So let's just pull a switch and just dump these yerba mate bags into here. This is just how it goes sometimes, guys. When life throws you a curve, you just got to kind of bend with it. Just go with the flow. Yes, I could easily open up another pound of mate, but I'm kind of waiting because these guys are for reviews. That's another story. So I'm just going to throw in this Mission. All right. I just threw in about 4 mate bags of Mission, which, by the way, we are actually selling these on circleofdrink.com. Mate bags, mate tea bags. So now we have our gourd. Now our gourd is about halfway full. That's a standard practice. Fill it up about halfway. Now, what you want to do is take the gourd in one palm, right? Take your other palm, cover the top of the gourd. Invert the gourd 180 degrees, just turn it upside down, and give it a few good shakes. You don't have to go crazy here, just a couple up and downs. The reason you're doing this is to get the larger particles to the bottom of the gourd, which will act as a natural filter. And the smaller particles to the top of the gourd. As you can see, they've come to the top. They're on my palm right now. That is for several reasons. That actually prevents the mate from clogging by bringing up the smaller particles to the top of the gourd, and the larger particles now being on the bottom of the gourd help to act as a natural filter that aid the bombilla in the filtration system. And the third reason really is to create right here what you have, the water hole. The water hole is where you place the water, where the water goes, where the bombilla goes, and this is your mountain of mate. The mountain of mate, you want to preserve this. This will come in handy later when this mate becomes tasteless, or what we say in Spanish, lavado, tasteless, and this mate right here is still powerful and potent, so you're going to switch it later. So, now that you have your water hole, you want to grab some of your dummy water. Now, don't worry, this water doesn't make you a dummy. Dummy water just means water that you're putting in the water hole to temper the yerba mate. Let me try to get a better angle. So just fill that up. Okay? Now, keep in mind, I kept the mountain mate relatively dry. This mate I tried to keep dry. This mate right here, you pour it in the water hole, the dummy water, which preserves the vital nutrients of the actual mate. Remember, mate is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful herb known to man right now. So when you're drinking it, you want to do everything you can to preserve these vital nutrients. That's what the dummy water is for. It kind of tempers the mate, it prepares it, it gets it ready for the hot water or the mate water. It's sort of like when you bloom coffee, when you're making coffee and you just add water that's not as hot at first, and then you add the hot water second. Same sort of situation here. Mate is very delicate. Now, you want to grab your mate water. Okay, I have my mate water, see the thermos right here, and the mate water is going to go into the hole. Alright, so let me show you what's going on here. So now on the left we have our water hole that now has mate water. First we put in the dummy water, let that absorb for about 30 seconds to a minute. Then you add the hot water, the mate water, into the same water hole. And we still have our mountain of mate, the dry mate here. There we go, that's a nice little situation right there. Now what you want to do is grab your bombilla, okay? Here's your bombilla. Here's the mountain of mate, here's the water hole. Now you want to follow the curvature of the actual bombilla and the situation, the ecosystem in here. You want to follow the same curvature. So what I mean by that is when you put the bombilla in, it's going down alongside of the gourd in the water hole, and then it goes on the bottom. And then you just want to kind of pull it up slightly. Make sure there's a little bit of room on the bottom of that bombilla. This entire system is called your mate ecosystem. It's a beautiful system. Once you learn how to perfect this system, you're going to be fine. Now, your bombilla is placed, and you want to top it off with a little bit more mate water. So you want to kind of angle the gourd forward and pour the water in directly where the bombilla has been placed. Bring it all the way up to the mountain of mate. Beautiful. I'll show you what's going on. You see what's going on? Beautiful. Que lindo. So what we have right here, perfect. Mountain of mate is preserved. We have the bombilla is placed. We have the water hole right here. And we have these beautiful saponins. Do you see these saponins? These little white bubbles? This means that the mate is potent. This means that the mate is very healthy. Now, let me take a sip. Que rico, que rico, que rico. Let's go back outside. Alright folks, so this is Dave Mate showing you a very simple way how to prepare yerba mate. Basically, get your mate water, heat it up, get your mate, get your gourd, get your bombilla, get your dummy water, put all that together like I showed you. Keep on adding your hot water, just like so. And enjoy the most powerful herb on the planet, yerba mate. Delicious. Can't have enough of it. Been drinking it for 7 years, every day since the first day I came to Argentina 7 years ago. Spent 3 years here, left for 4 years, just came back 2 weeks ago. Great to be back. Many more videos to come, guys. Follow us on YouTube, Circle of Drink on YouTube, find us on Facebook, find us all over the internet. Check us out, circleofdrink.com, all your yerba mate needs. It's been an honor, guys. Thank you so much. Salud.